Action they see. When pro wrestling exploded onto the landscape a couple of years ago, boys were bound to fantasize about the possibilities. But you won't believe what some of them have been up to since. After you see Deborah Roberts' report, you may wonder whether pro wrestling matches should carry a warning label. Don't try this at home.
If you've got cable TV, you can't miss it. It's a high-flying, testosterone-fueled, one-ring circus of scripted violence. This is the new world of professional wrestling, and it's become a ratings heavyweight champion.
Weighing 287 pounds, Mankind!
I think it's a live-action soap opera for guys who won't admit to watching soap operas.
And like any good soap opera,
Hello, Teddy.
the storylines must captivate the audience with sexy stars.
Are you boys ready for the grind?
Daredevil stunts, and blood. Vince McMahon runs the hottest show going, the World Wrestling Federation.
We're not talking sports, and this has not been a sport since Abraham Lincoln wrestled. This has always been entertainment.
Today's pro wrestling is becoming an extreme combination that's proving to be wildly popular with adults and kids. But it's all just for TV, right? Well, don't tell that to teenage fans Andre Verdun and his buddy Nicholas Teal. Andre's the one getting clocked with a light bulb. They're so fanatical about pro wrestling, they're staging their own backyard matches, complete with an audience, mostly their neighborhood friends, and 3 home video cams. It looks frightening, but they say they're having fun.
I just love it. I've been watching my whole life, and I live wrestling. I think I live wrestling more than anyone else I've ever met in my life.
Andre and Nicholas, high school students in Southern California, have been living wrestling for 3 years.
Is it worth going through all that pain to do what I love? And I don't have to ask the question, really. It's kind of like already a yes.
I'm built to wrestle. I was originally going to play football, but I thought it was a barbaric sport.
The parents are the ones that have trouble with dealing with it. The kids are like, oh, it's cool. The parents are like, that's disgusting.
Which is no surprise when you see some of the stunts they attempt. Some are clearly choreographed just like the pros, but the real crowd pleasers are the dangerous moves like this one during a match in Andre's backyard while his parents were away. 260-pound Nicholas jumps from the roof, that's right, the roof, onto Andre. Luckily, no one was hurt.
Yeah, cheese grater!
Then the crowd demands a stunt that draws real blood. Nicholas takes a cheese grater to Andre's head. Are these kids crazy?
My mother hates it. She told me I'm not doing it again, but we'll see.
We won't mention about Friday.
Shh. There is nothing on Friday.
Part of the fun is reliving their matches, analyzing their performance.
You can see the blood already just dripping down my forehead. That is 1% real. It's as real as it gets.
If you think Andre and Nicholas are going too far, take a look at these home videos. From Alabama to Arizona, kids all over the country are going wild for pro wrestling. With elaborate backyard setups and weird costumes.
His own mother's not going to recognize him.
They'll do nearly anything to mimic their favorite stars in the ring. This is 15-year-old Ronnie Long's idea of fun. He's smashing a light bulb into his head. He says it was an accident, but he bragged about his 8 stitches with pictures posted on the internet. Lots of these backyard groups have their own websites where they share photos and videos of their matches. Has pro wrestling brought all this on? We showed some of the clips to the wrestler many kids idolize, Mick Foley, known as Mankind.
That looks like fun. I mean, that's no different than kids going out and playing tackle football when they really should be playing touch football. Should the kids be hitting each other with garbage cans? Probably not, but they all look like they're friends. I don't think they're doing anything out of anger. I wasn't so crazy about the light bulbs to the head.
Foley is pro wrestling's top daredevil. In fact, it was his jump off a roof as a teenager that led to his professional career. So he understands the thrill, but he worries that some kids are taking on more risk than they realize.
The difference is, when I jumped, the guy moved out of the way. I wasn't putting someone else's life in jeopardy. I don't even do that in our ring in front of millions of people on TV. I have too much respect for the guys I wrestle to put them in that much danger.
They think that they're doing it properly. I mean, does it concern you that they're trying to mimic what they think they see you do in the ring?
Well, I don't know. Did it concern Adam West and Burt Ward that me and my brother were going pow, wham, zowie, you know, in the kitchen? I'm essentially Adam West with a different color pair of tights.
In fact, he insists that parents shoulder the responsibility for their kids' behavior, not the wrestlers. Still, Vince McMahon's World Wrestling Federation does warn kids against risk-taking. What would you say to kids and parents out there about mimicking what you do?
I think that parents and children need to be wary of and leery of what they do to emulate us, because, again, even as pros, sometimes we get hurt, and they need to be very, very careful about what they do.
But it'll take more than a warning like that to stop these guys. Back in Southern California, Andre and Nicholas are still at it, hoping to become pro wrestlers themselves. Until then, the only thing better than watching the real thing on TV is watching themselves on TV.